We're good. I just want to see John Mateer play a Bedlam game one time. Please, in 2026. Hopefully we can keep John Mateer around long enough. But
Hopefully
if things
not.
go according to plan, maybe he's off to the NFL. But John Mateer had some comments for those in attendance after practice on Tuesday. We'll discuss what he had to say coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks again for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there tuning in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. John Mateer is a really good quarterback, but it sounds like he's being tested a little bit in spring ball by one Oklahoma Sooners defense.
Yeah, they're throwing him in the fire. They're throwing him in the ringer, and it's fascinating because today the team came back from spring break and they did practices. So they had spring practice has resumed, and now we need to break down the quarterback position. But John Mateer was talking to the media, and he made this comment, and this is something that jumped out to me that I think, John, this is going to get you excited. He said, "We've got some freak athletes on this defense. I can't miss a throw or it's going the other way." So basically he's praising Brent Venables' defense and his excitement about them and just how good they are. But you know the thing that jumped out to me the most? The fact that he said he can't miss on the throw or it's going the other way. That means that he's paying attention to the intensity of an SEC caliber defense, which we know Oklahoma is. And he's seeing that, all right, my precision's got to be on point. He's not quiet about it. He's not shy about it. He's saying, nah, Brent Venables' defense is legit. Those players are good. I got to make sure my P's and Q's. And because of the way everybody has praised him around practice, even his teammates or whatnot, I'm feeling rather confident about his game.
Yeah, when you're a guy that's as good as John Mateer is, you don't necessarily shy away from the reality that you are playing against a good defense every single day. Or the expectations that, hey, I've actually got to be as close to perfect as I possibly can. Otherwise, it could result in a turnover or it can result in a pick six. We know Oklahoma is capable of turning the ball over and returning it for a touchdown. We saw it. Kip Lewis is that guy, right? Kip six. He's the dude that can turn the ball over. But I don't mind that John Mateer isn't shy about the challenges and the expectations that come with being the quarterback at Oklahoma. He's leading from the front. He knows what the expectation is. He knows that this is a big year for the Sooners, but he's got the mentality to do it the right way, to lead the right way. And that's why everybody feels so comfortable with the quarterback position right now and the direction of the quarterback position. Some of it is Ben Arbuckle and his ability to create great offense and get the most out of his quarterbacks. The other part of it is you've got a guy in John Mateer who's just, for lack of a better term, a gamer. He's a dude that you can put the game in his hands and he's going to help you win that football game. You don't have to scheme around him. You don't have to scale things back. You don't have to rely on a running game. You can rely on John Mateer to go win you a football game. And I think that is the thing that gives me the most confidence about the quarterback position moving forward, especially in 2025. But this sets the tone for the future at quarterback.
He does. And you can tell that he's out there having fun too, just with the comments, the smiling, the talking about the defense and stuff. I talked about this last year before, and me and you talked about this over the summer when I first joined you here on the show. And the biggest thing about the difference last year and this year that I'm hearing is that there's a different type of energy with the guy that is in charge of the team. Last year, it was still kind of up in the air. Michael Hawkins was doing a lot of flash. Jackson Arnold was doing enough, but it didn't feel the same as it does with John Mateer. It feels like their players are saying on defense, nah, John Mateer's a gamer. Yeah, he's going to go out there and he's going to find ways. And it sounds like he's probably throwing a good amount of interceptions right now. And that is not a bad thing. Like, you want your quarterback to be that aggressive and be willing to test himself and see his limits, especially when you're going against a defense that has been proven to be pretty solid in the SEC. if he's testing himself this well against this defense and Brent Venables is throwing the kitchen sink at him, he will actually be forged in fire. And I sense that he won't be afraid when he goes out there. He won't clam up in any situation. He's going to let that thing rip. And if he lets that thing rip, very good chance this team has a very solid season.
Well, and he's also making plays. Like we're seeing the highlight reels, right? The connection between him and JaVonnie Gibson. If you watch the Isaiah Satenga mic'd up segment that he had last week, you saw the connection between those two as well. Deion Burks is working back into practice. There's going to be plays made on the offensive side of the ball. I don't think that there's any worry there. I think it's got to get back to good. It doesn't have to be great. It doesn't have to be elite. We don't have to have a Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield type performance or a Dylan Gabriel from 2023 type performance for Oklahoma to go be successful. You've just got to have good. It doesn't have to be great. It has to be good, though, for Oklahoma to go win 10 games and make the playoff, or to go 10 or better and make the playoff. He's got to be good. And I think he's capable of that. And as we talked about the quarterback position, I think it does set the stage for the future, because you've got a good young quarterback in Michael Hawkins, who is a dynamic player, both as a passer and as a runner. I know our most recent memories were, well, I guess we had the Navy game, and he made some plays in that game.
He did.
He kind of got left hung out to dry a couple times with some pressure. He got left hung out to dry by a big drop that would have been a big pass reception. There were some really good things out of Michael Hawkins in that game. We saw it, against Auburn. We saw some good things, but we also saw a true freshman. But all of that, the ups and the downs, created an opportunity for him to go back to the drawing board, learn from his mistakes, and get better. And he's going to be better for it down the road too. Now he gets an opportunity to learn from a guy like John Mateer, who's gotten a year of starting experience under his belt. He knows Ben Arbuckle's system, and he can watch how John Mateer leads, and he can develop as a leader himself.
Yeah, and I think Michael Hawkins is probably learning a lot about the way that John Mateer carries himself, because I think Michael Hawkins has an opportunity to be something special himself. Like, we saw some flashes. We saw what he did against Auburn. We saw how he came against Tennessee, start to make some moves and get a little comfortable and acclimated. I mean, he went on the road as a true freshman and won a game in a very hostile environment, in which I think it's only really hostile for one team. But I digress. He went out there and got that W, which is the only thing that matters, and held on to it to be able to finish that bad boy. To me, Michael Hawkins really understudying with John Mateer, and not only learning the offense that Ben Arbuckle is going to unleash next season, but understanding the leadership qualities and stuff. It kind of makes me think about what Robert Spears Jennings said when he talked about Billy Bowman coming back one more year, and how he learned a lot about just being a leader, especially in the room. He's like, yeah, I'm the old head in the room now, and I got to go out there and lead these young guys. And Billy really helped, drop little hints and nuggets and things to me to help me grow as a man, as a player, as a teammate. And I feel like Michael Hawkins will be able to pull a lot of that stuff from John Mateer as well. I mean, I know he's got his dad, Michael Hawkins Sr., who's a pretty outstanding dude himself. And he was, played in the NFL, played at college. He did well at each level. But having someone that's been in your shoes at the quarterback spot, doing what you're doing today, I mean, it's a difference maker, and it gives you a different perspective. And I feel like Mateer is going to be able to provide that for him, because he's moved around. He wasn't really recruited very heavily. Got his offer from Washington State, went there, sat for a year, learned, 2 years, went, finally got his game in and cooked last season. And now he's going to come here and have to do the same thing. And so them two encouraging each other, it's definitely going to be a plus. And then, of course, you got Jett Niu behind him and Cole Gonzalez, which I think Cole is going to be one. It's going to be kind of shocking when he comes in late in games to kind of do like mop-up duty or whatnot. He's probably going to be one. He's going to be like, oh, okay, I didn't know he could rip it like that.
Mm-hmm. And he gives you the opportunity to keep a red shirt for Michael Hawkins if you desire to do that. If you want to play Michael Hawkins in 4 games this year, but retain his red shirt capability, you've got a veteran in Cole Gonzalez that, if you get the opportunity to play some garbage time snaps because you're ahead so much, then you've got a guy in Cole Gonzalez that you can roll out there, or even Jett Niu, who you can roll out there and still get something out of the offense. So it's going to be fascinating to watch this quarterback position. I think it is in a really good position. It's in a better position, I think, than they were last year because it's just more experienced when you have a guy like John Mateer in. And then, the Cole Gonzalez for General Booty trade, I think that's about equal. I think those guys are probably similar. But then, you bring in a guy like Jett Niu, who's your, I already forgot the other quarterback that was here last year from Ohio.
Oh, you're talking about Brendan Zurbrugg.
Yeah, Brendan Zurbrugg. God, sorry, Brendan.
Love Zurbrugg. Sorry man. He's at Utah. He's going to be cooking over there in Utah.
Going well for you with the Utes. Enjoy the beautiful scenery up there in Utah. That's my fault. Anyway. But yeah, quarterback is in a much, much better place. And I think it's exciting to see what Ben Arbuckle's done and what he's doing and where it's going from here, because still they've got a lot of potential to get out of this group. One player who has enormous potential. The ceiling is the roof, right? What was that, the Michael Jordan quote from forever ago?
It was.
Yeah, the ceiling is the roof. Well, one Aaliyah Chavez commits to the Oklahoma Sooners. We're going to talk about just what that means for OU coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.